Message from Matthew and Ashtar. March 20, 2014. With loving greetings from all souls at the station, this is Matthew. And now I shall speak only for myself. When the Malaysian aircraft went missing, I was assisting a civilization in another galaxy and had no knowledge of the event until 3 days later, when my mother first heard about it and asked me what I knew. Thereupon I contacted a colleague in Nirvana, whose investigation disclosed that 3 persons had been in an airplane immediately prior to arriving in Nirvana on the day the plane disappeared. My colleague told me their records show that they died of natural causes in accordance with their soul contracts, and he couldn't verify that they were on the plane in question. Since then, responsibilities and family visits have kept my mother's thoughts and time occupied, and when she asked today if I have verifiable information now, I told her yes, but I prefer that she receive it directly from my source, Ashtar. Mother, he is awaiting your greeting. Susie. Ashtar, hello. Matthew said you have information about the missing plane. He would like me to receive it directly from you instead of us paraphrasing what you told him. Ashtar. Yes, Susie, I know, and hello. It's been quite a while since we talked, and I'm glad for this opportunity to be together again. After Matthew asked me to tell you what I know, I put together a little presentation of sorts and I'll get right to it. All persons aboard the missing airliner were relocated to a small planet that approximates your atmosphere and to some extent the topography, and the inhabitants are fairly similar to your population in appearance. When the plane developed serious malfunctions that couldn't be remedied, we shifted it into a higher dimension and set course for that planet. None of the soul contracts of the crew and passengers included such an adventure, but neither did they include death at that time. In cases like that, we are authorized to step in. The unexpected experience was real to them because all witnessed the plane's abrupt turn, yet surreal because they were flying through space unlike anything they had ever seen. There was no panic because immediately the rescuers used our communication system to tell them what was transpiring, and the energy of the loving explanation created a peaceful acceptance within those people whose future was being redirected. The plane was dematerialized after all had disembarked. They were met by some of our crew members, who had taken on Earth body appearances and garb to ease the newcomers' first moments in their new land, and taken to what you would call an exclusive resort. It is the starting over point for all Earth souls who are rescued by other civilizations, and there have been many of those occasions in your past centuries. During the first days the group received a downloading of the only language spoken in that world and basic knowledge of the population. It is a simple procedure, like the workings of your computers. After an orientation briefing and photographic overview of what the region offers, each person was given the choice of various types of living quarters, individual transportation mode, and employment or schooling. Each was given a paper that functions like a ticket to attend all events desired, and plenty of the tokens that are used to obtain articles or services. From the resort, all were taken to the quarters they chose, and given their chosen mode of private transportation and food, and all other basic necessities were provided for housekeeping. You could think of this as an unusually elaborate welcome wagon service. The newcomers' knowledge, talents and interests will be well used and appreciated in that world, and, just as on Earth, life there is as fulfilling and meaningful as each chooses to make it. Now, Susie, I'll answer the questions running around in your head. No, we couldn't put those people back on Earth. We had to act fast, but every possible factor was considered and going to that world was their best option. It was the only option that could assure their survival. We couldn't put the plane on a runway at its destination airport, without landing clearance. It would have created chaos and danger to incoming and departing air traffic. And who could explain how that disabled craft suddenly showed up on the ground hours ahead of schedule? How could its sudden public appearance anywhere be explained? Well, it couldn't, but that wasn't the decisive factor. There weren't sufficient provisions in the plane, most essentially water, we're all on board to live very long without replenishments, and there's no secluded place on your planet where we could put it down and guarantee those people's survival until they were found. We wish everyone in your world could know that they are alive and well on a planet much like Earth, but who would make such a statement? Who would believe it? Especially we wish the families and friends of the people who disappeared could know that their dear ones are living comfortably and happily in a world that is far better than yours is at the moment. Any more questions, Susie? Susie. Thank you for answering the ones I had in mind, Ashtar. It's amazing how those people were so wonderfully treated and their living needs accommodated. Do you know if they and the people who love them can be reunited during this lifetime? Ashtar. No, I don't know, but I think it's very unlikely. The energy of love bonds assures reunion in spirit, but most of Earth's residents have a long way to go in raising their consciousness level before meeting up physically within their reality. Susie. Could mediums, or readers, here contact the plane people and get information for their families? Ashtar. Telepathic communication is universe-wide, but making those connections would be difficult. Only exceptional intermediaries are clearly attuned to the vibrations of souls very far beyond nirvana. The world they'd need to reach is outside your solar system, and here again you're dealing with lack of awareness. Most people on Earth believe only what they've personally experienced or have been taught, and telepathic communication isn't widespread in either category. Susie. Well, okay, but can the facts about what happened be told after lots of your spaceships land and ETs who are living here become known? Ashtar. Yes, definitely. Susie. Ashtar, do you know when that will occur? Ashtar. Susie, if I did, I'd shout it from your rooftop. Not really, but we certainly would tell your leaders so it could come from official sources before numbers of us show up in our native bodies. It's like Matthew and Hatton told you, God took charge of the timetable because only He can know when the collective psyche of your civilization is ready to welcome strangers like us. You can't even get along with each other yet. Susie. You're right, and it's terribly painful for so many. Billions are suffering. What more can light workers do to turn this around? Ashtar. Dear heart, all I can tell you is what light workers already are doing, showing the power of love by living that way. But, you could talk more about the universal law of attraction. You don't have to call it that, but your people need to know that the energy of their thoughts, feelings and actions zooms into the universal soup and boomerangs back with more of the same. Too many thoughts are about fear, war, prejudice, disease, poverty, despair, what the thinkers don't want, and that's why change is coming slowly, steadily but slowly. Susie. It seems more slow than steady. I don't have any more questions right now, Ashtar. Thank you for everything you told me. Ashtar. You're welcome, of course, but I don't want to end this on that sour slow note of mine. We've been ready for years to join you, we love you, our brothers and sisters. And when I reached that point, I let impatience get the better of me. The truth is, your progress during the planet's ascension has astounded light forces throughout the universe. Your resilience, resourcefulness and determination to give future generations a better world already has made it so. You're still working on this in your concept of time, but in the continuum, it's a done deal, so let me sign off with hurrah for your glorious victory. Susie. Yes. Thank you, Ashtar. Ciao for now. Love and peace. Suzanne Ward. www.matthewbooks.com